It doesn't have anything to do with you, especially in terms of a limitation. It has nothing to do with you in terms of a limitation. That's my little makeshift bookmark. Think and Grow Rich. We're going to workshop this right now live. Let's go. Hey YouTube, what's going on? All right, y'all. So again, my name is Batia Yisrael. This is my channel, one of my several channels, Solar Alignment. It's a channel that I was able to, go live on right now. And so we talk about metaphysics over here, prosperity, all that good stuff. But right now we're going to be workshopping the book, Think and Grow Rich. Let's go. All right. So this book, so this is like our third live on this book. We're still in the intro. We're in the author's preface. So we went through the publisher's preface. We went through the intro, the recommendations. Lord willing, we're going to get to the author's preface, and then we're going to get to the first chapter. All right, so the music has paused here. So let's pause there for a moment. Un momento. This book is very, 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 I actually kind of like the music, but it's very, very important to Bob Proctor, to a lot of people actually, right? This is a study of 500 plus successful people, 500 plus successful people by Napoleon Hill, over like 25 years of research before the book was even written in 1937. And so this has a lot of history in this book, right? Even though, it's a little old school, what they might say. It's a little old school, what they might say. Let's turn this on as a little backdrop. Let's see how this will go. There's a couple things I want to play for you as well. So we'll see how it goes with the music, and then we'll pause that in. Then, okay. So this book has been very, very, very important for Bob Proctor, and other people. But he's a person who, rest his soul, who dedicated his life to helping people. When Bob Proctor was introduced to this book, he was 26 years of age. He was earning $4,000 per year. This is part 3, okay? If you want to see part 1 and part 2, go to YouTube. They're all recorded. Go to Wealth with Tia, okay? Wealth with Tia. And you can see the replays of our first and our second live workshop of Think and Grow Rich. We did last week and the week before. All right, something like that, right? Okay. So when Bob Proctor was introduced to Think and Grow Rich, when he was 26 years of age, this was 1961. He was earning $4,000 per year. Now we know this was a long time ago, but that's still a low amount, right? $4,000 per year, and he owed $6,000. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people can relate to that. Earning a certain amount and owing more. It's called debt. It is what it is. He worked through this book. He had a mentor. He worked through this book. And let me see his mentor's name. By the end of the year, after working through this book, Think and Grow Rich, he earned about $100,000 something, like I think $185,000. Hello? He went from $4,000 per year, y'all. Yeah, not month. Not every couple months. $4,000 per year. And I think his mentor's name was Raymond Stanford. And then he went to $185,000 or so per year after reading the book Think and Grow Rich. Hello? Now, I'm sure that's not what he did only, but he said that he read this book, y'all, every single day since he was introduced to it when he was 26 years of age. So, I mean, look, sometimes what they say, I don't know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right? There are things that, and people and situations that have already laid the groundwork for what you're trying to do. right? For your riches and your wealth and what you're trying to do, right? So really quick, a couple weeks ago, before I started these lives, this workshop through this book that was kind of like sitting on my shelf. I read a little bit here and there, right? But didn't really take that seriously. I prayed to the Most High, called out to the universe, right? For a certain type of compensation, right? For the things and, that I put out into the universe, right? The very next day, it was some happened that night, but the very next day, basically, I saw a video. I'm going to play a little excerpt from it for you. It's called How to Use the Money Frequency. I saw that video from Bob Proctor from his Proctor Gallagher Institute. And it says how to use the money frequency in 2024. And there was a couple other things I saw. And it dawned in my mind. I said, you know what? I'm going to take this book seriously. Think and Grow Rich. This is the book that Bob Proctor never put down since it was introduced to him. It's if you look at any of the videos where he's talking about this, it's not this version. There's several versions of the book. Okay. Some people edited a little bit. Some people didn't. You can get free PDFs online of Think and Grow Rich. You might even have one in your house already. He said how to use the money frequency in 2024. And he never put this book down. So I said, look, let me take it seriously and let me not only read the book. This is what the universe told me to do. This is what God told me to do. Not only read the book, but workshop it live. Because, maybe somebody else might want to, study it with me. Or maybe somebody else could benefit from it as well. So I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit more because I had it down for the music so we can groove a little bit. This is something that Bob Proctor wants us to listen to. I'm going to get it on a different device here and see if I can play it, because I think if I play it on the same device that I'm doing the live on YouTube, I don't think that they can hear it over there. All right. So let's listen to what Bob Proctor wants us to listen to about how to use the money frequency in 2024. This is a portion of the video. You can look this video up online. It's also at Wealth with Tia on my YouTube. It's there as well in the playlist of our lives of Think and Grow Rich. Okay, the video is there as well. So let's listen to what Bob wants us to hear about how to use the money frequency in 2024. This is a little snippet of one of his mentors, Earl Nightingale. You may or may not have heard of him. He's a classic as well. From the classic book, The Strangest Secret, y'all. There's a strange secret that Earl Nightingale wanted us to know about. He was just wondering about. And so let's see what he has to say. All right, let's see.
I want you to listen really carefully to this.
We hear that.
I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. Some years ago, the late Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Albert Schweitzer was being interviewed in London, and a reporter asked him, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?" And the great doctor was silent a moment, and then he said, "Men simply don't think." It's about this that I want to talk with you. We live today in a golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate to live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of the earth, a land of abundant opportunity for everyone. But do you know what happens? Well, let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65? These 100 men who all start even at the age of 25 believe that...
What do they believe when they start at age 25? What do they believe?
They're going to be successful. If you ask any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life, that there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, 1 will be rich. 4 will be financially independent.
Okay.
5 will still be working. 54 will be broke.
Hold on. I kind of want to go back a little bit. But he said out of a certain number of people, I think it might have been 100, but he said one will be rich. And about almost half are going to be broke. All right, we're just going to go back just a little bit. This is Earl Nightingale talking about the strangest secret. This is one of Bob Proctor's mentors that have helped him, particularly when he was living, become one of the foremost motivational teachers. I mean, wealthiest men, certainly a lot wealthier than he was when he first got this information from Think and Grow Rich, right? This is a strange secret that Earl Nightingale is observing, that out of a certain group, a number of people, a very, very low amount, end up being rich and wealthy and succeeding. Why? Why is it?
Certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, one will be rich.
1.
4 will be financially independent. 5 will still be working. 54 will be broke.
I'm sorry, y'all. I know I keep pausing on that part. 54 people. I believe it was out of 100, y'all. Anybody can tell me it was out of 100. 54. So about half the people. We're going to keep listening a little bit. They started out fresh, y'all. What, 25 or so? Right? They had their motivation for their finances, like, oh, we could do it, life is ahead of us, blah, blah, blah. By the time he said they're 65, one of them is rich. We say about 5 are financially independent, and about 54 are broke. Now, I don't like that word broke, because you ain't nothing broke about you, baby. Ain't nothing broke about you. That's what Iyanla Vanzant, fix your life. That's what she talking about. No, you're not broke. You might be temporarily out of cash. You ain't broke. All right. So it's nothing broke about a divine being who's on their journey to success. All right. So let's just be clear about that. But we know what they mean. And when people say that, we know what they mean. About half the people, much, much, much more than who achieved the goal of riches, were out of cash. Under. Okay. All right. This is Earl Nightingale. We're going to listen to a little bit more.
Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Now why do so many fail? What has happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What's become of the dreams, the hopes, the plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these men intended to do and what they actually accomplished? When we say about 5% achieve success, we have to define success. And here's the best definition I've ever been able to find. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
He's going to stop right here. Bob is going to stop right here and going to explain to us a little bit about what Earl Nightingale is talking about here. Before we go into what Bob is saying, Earl Nightingale is trying to figure out, or he's just commenting on the fact that out of 100 people, within the progression of a certain amount of time, for whatever reason, and there are various reasons, right? Society, things we believe, Because really, it's only the things that we believe and the things that we don't do that can keep us back from anything, because nobody else can do it. But for whatever various reasons, half of the group had no money and were still working. Some of them were still working when, at the age of, retirement, if you will. I see some people in my life, neighbors, and, bless them, people that I come across in their maybe 70s or something like that, maybe late 60s, 70s, maybe even a little bit higher than that in their age, still working every day. Why? Now, I'm not saying don't have, a hobby, right? And be active. Absolutely. But to have to clock in somewhere or go somewhere in your late 60s and 70s and not be financially free, like, in my mind, there's something wrong with that. And I'm not saying something wrong with you or the people. It's something wrong with that system, right? And so we all know that, I think. I don't think anybody of a certain age should be trapped like that. And I call it a trap. Should be trapped like that. We're workshopping the book Think and Grow Rich right now. Come on in, y'all, on TikTok. But these are the choices that people make. And so this is what Earl Nightingale is, talking about. Now, Bob Proctor is about to explain to us what he feels that success is. And this can help some of us, a lot of us, because some of us don't even feel like we're successful unless we reach a certain goal, right? So you can have goals. Like I had on the last slide, I wrote down, one of my goals is to earn $5,000 per month from home, right? That's one of my goals. One of the things I'm doing towards that, I started a clothing line. It's called Body in God. All right, bodyingod.com, BODYINGOD.com. Check us out. All right, it's a metaphysical clothing brand. It's all about all of this, the universe being one body, God's body, right? And so here, I'll show one of my shirts here. I got a pocket tees. This is one of our logo tees right here. And it's displaying well. Oh, we have our woven tag, which represents the Merkaba. This is the stuff that what's the brother's name he was talking about? Terrence Howard was talking about. All that good stuff. Yep, I'm right in line with that. That's real. That was real. That thing went viral. Stop playing. But anyway, these are our pocket tees. So this is part of what I'm doing. See it on this side. And I have one on right now, pocket tee. Well, this isn't the pocket tee. This is one of our logo tees. And we have the woven tag on the cuff at the bottom. I don't know if y'all can see it on here. Okay. So that's one of the things that I'm doing to, bring myself to my financial goals, right? And we all should have something that we're working on, right? Up the ladder, right? So this is one of the things that I'm doing. And while I'm achieving or seeking to achieve the goals, right? Bob Proctor is going to clarify this for us, right? What success is. Is success when you actually achieve the goal? Or is success when you're actually on your way to achieve the goal, right? Hey, Manny. Hey, George. How y'all doing? Hey, La Petite. What's going on, y'all? We workshopping the book Think and Grow Rich. We just listened to Earl Nightingale ponder why out of 100 people at 25 years of age, when they start out on basically an even keel, right? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say, that when they turn 65 or so, over half of them have no money. And so Bob Proctor is about to explain to us what success is. He's about to kind of go into a little bit of what Earl Nightingale just said. So let's listen to Bob just a little bit more. Okay. And then we'll go into the book. All right. Think and Grow Rich. Oh, yeah. Because that's why we're here. Because it's time to think, it's time to do, and it's time to grow rich. All right. All right. Let's go.
Now, that's something you ought to burn into your mind.
What, Bob?
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Okay.
You could be a student in school with a C and D average, and you're working toward an A and B.
Okay.
And you're progressively moving in that direction. You're a successful person. You could be a person that has a state of.
So wait a minute. He said you could be in school with a C and D average, but moving towards having better grades. and you're a success. Why? Because you're on the path to greater. Like everybody watching this video right now, whether you in or in the hallway, you know, you're on the path to success. Why? Or you are successful, basically is what he's saying. Is because you're on the path. There you go. You are successful when you're on the path and when you're progressively moving towards a certain goal, right? So we don't have to just say, oh, until I achieve it, I'm not, successful. No, you have a weight goal, right? A weight loss goal, maybe you have a weight gain goal. Who knows, right? You lose 1 pound, you gain 1 pound, whatever your goal is. You are on the path to success. Okay? You are on the path to success. All right. So this is what Bob is explaining right now. All right. Interesting, because some people don't think like that about themselves. C's and D's, and I'm successful, but I'm trying. Maybe I'm getting a little extra tutoring, or I'm doing, and then I'm on the path to success. All right.
Maybe 5 million, and you're working towards 10 million. Mm-hmm. You're progressively moving in that direction. That's a successful person.
Okay.
Each one as successful as the other. It has nothing to do with the end. It has to do with the direction we're moving in.
He said, your success has nothing to do with the end, but it has to do with the direction that you're moving in. That's positive, isn't it? Your success has nothing to do with the end, but it has everything to do with the direction that you're moving in. Are you moving in the direction of your success? Are you letting someone else define your direction in life? Like, are you only defined by your 9 to 5, your 11 to 7, your 7 to 3? Or are you defining your path to success? George Orwell. Love that name. Very interesting book. I remember reading that. The book from him in high school. All right. So Bob Proctor is explaining to us what success is, and that it is being on the path, being on a journey. All right. So let's get a little bit into Think and Grow Rich. And this is the original version. There's, several versions you can buy. I got this off Amazon. It was written in 1937 by Napoleon Hill. And we are going to pick up where we left off last time. This is our third live on this. Yay! And so we're in the author's preface, okay? Okay. So in every chapter of this book, Think and Grow Rich, mention has been made of the money-making secret, which has made fortunes for more than 500 exceedingly wealthy men whom I have carefully analyzed over a long period of years. This is the author's preface, right? So this is Napoleon Hill speaking. So Napoleon Hill analyzed over 500 exceedingly wealthy, not even just a little bit wealthy. I mean, wealthy is exceedingly rich, right? Or, basically into the generations. That's wealth. I'm just saying. So he carefully analyzed them over a long period of years. I believe it said earlier that it took about 25 years of research before the book was even written. Okay. To even write the book. And the book was written in 1937. We talk about Think and Grow Rich. Let's go. Think and Grow Rich. All right. So we're reading the author's preface. This is on page 12 of the book that I have right now. If you want this particular book, if you don't have it, it's linked on YouTube at Wealth with Tia. And I'll link it in. I'll probably link it in this video as well, but it's linked in, I think, the first and the second live taping that we did of the previous weeks of the book. Okay. So he's carefully analyzed over a long period of years these 500 wealthy men. The secret was brought to my attention by Andrew Carnegie more than a quarter of a century ago. It's a secret, but we're gonna talk about the secret. There's no secrets in the universe. Well, that's a long story. I can get into that. The creator does have some secret things, but mostly there are no real secrets in the universe. We have to open ourselves and avail ourselves to what's all around us, right? But this is a secret, that they call it that. That maybe, a lot of people don't know or don't apply or hadn't applied during the time this book was written, that Andrew Carnegie discovered and commissioned Napoleon Hill to study. And he did. The secret was brought to my attention by Andrew Carnegie more than a quarter of a century ago. The canny, lovable old Scotsman carelessly tossed it into my mind when I was but a boy, right? Very young, impressionable. But this was a positive impression. Then he sat back in his chair with a merry twinkle in his eyes and watched carefully to see if I had brains enough to understand the full significance of what he had said to me. Well, what did he say now? When he saw that I had grasped the idea, he asked if I would be willing to spend 20 years or more. So you got to work on your goals, y'all. Hello? 20 years or more preparing myself to take it to the world. So when your dream and your goal, and I'm speaking out loud to myself too, don't pop off in 2 months. You think it's over? You just begun. You just begun. So Andrew Carnegie asked Napoleon Hill if he would be willing to spend 20 years or more, my God, today, preparing himself to take it to the world. To men and women who, without the secret, might go through life as failures. Wait a minute now. This is how deep this stuff is. He said that without this secret, baby, many men and women are going to go through life as a failure. Hello? Now, again, you're a divine being. You're not a failure. You're not broken. You're whole, right? You're God's child, right? Whatever you believe in, we have a source. You're the child of the source and the consciousness that created all reality. But as far as achieving certain goals without applying certain tools, people will continue not to achieve their goals and be what Andrew Carnegie called a failure. Okay, and we're not subscribing to that. That's why we workshopping this book right now, Think and Grow Rich. Hello? Okay. Wow. I said I would. This is Napoleon Hill. And with Mr. Carnegie's cooperation, I have kept my promise. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, sir. This book contains the secret. After having been put to a practical test by thousands of people in almost every walk of life, it was Mr. Carnegie's idea that the magic formula, which gave him a stupendous fortune, ought to be placed within reach of people who do not have time to investigate how men make money. And it was his hope that I might test and demonstrate the soundness of the formula through the experience of men and women in every calling. That's what we're getting from this book, y'all. All right. Have you heard about the book? Take it seriously. Think and Grow Rich. Whether we're on live or on intermission, go to YouTube, whatever it is. Listen to an audio, even if you don't feel like flipping the pages. Just listen to the book. You'll get it and keep doing it, like Bob Proctor did. It helped him get his riches. Okay. All right. So it ought to be placed within reach of people who do not have time to investigate how men make money. And it was his hope that I might test and demonstrate the soundness of the formula through the experience of men and women in every calling. He believed the formula should be taught in all public schools and colleges now. Okay. So this could be taught on an elementary level and a collegiate level. We teaching on a collegiate level, right? Even though I like to make things simple. But we teaching on, because we got to dig in. We got to do all this stuff. You grown, you know what to do. All right. So he believed the formula should be taught in all public schools and colleges, and expressed the opinion that if it were properly taught, it would so revolutionize the entire educational system that the time spent in school could be reduced to less than half. Hello? Wow. He said if this book and the principles in this book, Think and Grow Rich, were taught properly, that people could reduce their official school time by half. Hello? Because he said the rest of the stuff y'all need. You need basic, reading, writing, arithmetic. That's what they call it. Reading, writing, arithmetic. And then you need some fundamentals of how to make some money. Or how to do some practical things. Whatever happened to that, I'm going off a little bit on the side. Whatever happened to that in school? Like home economics and stuff. I'm just saying, just a little, how to do like basic stuff, How about the sewing part? How about tasks? How about, learning how to do some electrical work? Like basic things that, people need. Like, okay. Anyway, he said the rest of that stuff, y'all, y'all learn in school. It's a waste of time. You learn this, you're going to reduce your school time by half. Hello. Well, that's what he recommended. That's all I'm saying. You stay in school, but you know what I'm saying. All right. His experience with Charles M. Schwab. Oh, y'all heard that name before. And other young men of Mr. Schwab's type convinced Mr. Carnegie that much of that which is taught in the schools is of no value whatsoever in connection with the business of earning a living or accumulating riches. I mean, we kind of know that. You know that in school, generally speaking, they're teaching you about how to work for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And we can survive like that. But we want to thrive. Don't we? Do you? I do, and I think you do too. Okay. All right. They're not trying to teach you how to get rich in school. Maybe some specialized schools when you get to, certain higher echelons, as they call it. They'll teach you some secrets, depending on who you are, depending on what school you go to. But like what they call the masses of people, they're not trying to teach you how to get rich. You got to teach yourself. You need to ask the universe. You need to bring the riches to you. See, we'll get to that too. You need to bring the riches to you here first, and then they'll come to you out here. That's how it works. But he's going to teach us all that in this book, Think and Grow Rich. Hello. Let's go. All right. He had arrived at the decision because he had taken into his business one young man after another, many of them with but little schooling now. They had a little bit of schooling. And by coaching them in the use of this formula, developed in them rare leadership. Rare leadership. Moreover, his coaching made fortunes for every one of them who follow his instructions. Are you going to follow his instructions? Are you going to follow Andrew Carnegie's instructions through the book, Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill? Hello? So that you can make a fortune. Because it's possible. You're God's child. A child of the universe. We're not talking about religion. Okay. We're talking about what it actually is. Because we all have a source. In the chapter on faith, we're still reading the author's preface. In the chapter on faith, you will read the astounding story of the organization of the giant United States Steel Corporation, as it was conceived and carried out by one of the young men through whom Mr. Carnegie proved that his formula will work for all who are ready for it. Are you ready for it? I'm ready for it. This single application of the secret by that young man, Charles M. Schwab, made him a huge fortune in both money and opportunity. Roughly speaking, this particular application of the formula was worth $600 million. Wow. And you know this was back in the day, so that's hello. So his application for the formula, because you know, have you ever heard a statement? It's not knowledge that's power. We should say it's not only knowledge that's power. It is the what? It is the application of the knowledge that's power. All right. Come on in, like up the stream, like it up. Let's go. All right, y'all. So his application of the formula was worth $600 million. Would you like the application, your application of this formula to be worth $600 million? That sounds good, doesn't it? $600 million. That's about to be one of my mantras. Hey, 600, come on, $million. Oh, I'm a singer too. I love music too, so we're gonna do that. $600 million. Come on. All right, y'all. That's how I go. All right, so these facts, they're facts now. And they are facts. Well known to almost everyone who knew Mr. Carnegie. I'm reading from the book. Give you a fair idea of what the reading of this book may bring you. You're right there. Where's the camera? There you go. Wow. Provided you know what it is that you want. That must be one of the secrets right there. That's one of the secrets right there. You got to know what you want. Do you know how many people are walking around? They don't even know what they want. How's it going to come to you if you don't know what you want, what you desire? So that's what, setting goals and reading books like this and kind of putting these things down, visualization, all that, because you get to see it. You get to bring it to you. You got to know what you desire for it to come to you. Because you're giving direction to your goals. You just think you could just, maybe hold some things in your mind and not really form them, maybe not really say them, write them down, whatever. And like it's going to come to you. It don't work like that. So he said, provided you know what it is that you want, but they're going to go through all that. Even before it had undergone 20 years of practical testing, the secret was passed on to more than 100,000 men and women who have used it for their personal benefit. Wow. As Mr. Carnegie planned that they should. So even before it had undergone 20 years of practical testing, Andrew Carnegie had already been sharing this information with 100,000 men and women. What? He was doing his work. His spirit got some good karma coming to it. I know that's right. Well, already probably experienced a lot of it. That's great. 100,000 men and women who have used it for their personal benefit, as Mr. Carnegie planned that they should. Some have made fortunes with this information, the secret, the application of the secret. Others have used it successfully in creating harmony in their homes. A clergyman used the application of this information in Think and Grow Rich so effectively that it brought him an income of upwards of $75,000 now. Oh, a year. Okay. Now, I'm sure at the time he did this, that was a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of money now, but relatively speaking, right? It's all relative. Arthur Nash, a Cincinnati tailor, used his near bankrupt business. So the business was near bankrupt, y'all. See, that's why it's no excuse, and it's never too late. Because as long as you're still here, you're here. You could do it. It's never too late. When Bob Proctor was introduced to this information, he earned $4,000 per year, and he owed $6,000. And he said in one of his videos, he's passed a couple years ago, rest his soul. He said in one of his videos that he entered his organization, Proctor Gallagher Institute, officially entered every single state or country, I would say, in the world. Every country. That was one of his goals. It wasn't too late for him. But he read this book over and over again, Think and Grow Rich, and he applied the knowledge. Okay. So Arthur Nash, a Cincinnati tailor, used his near bankrupt business as a guinea pig on which to test the formula. The business came to life and made a fortune for its owners. It is still thriving. Wow. Although Mr. Nash has gone. The experiment was so unique that newspapers and magazines gave it more than $1 million worth of laudatory publicity. Right? Laudatory. Positive, right? When you laud something, L-A-U-D, you speak about it positively. So he got millions of dollars of free, that's what it sounds like, free publicity, basically. That's what it seems like to me. All right. So the secret was passed on to Stuart Austin Wire of Dallas, Texas. He was ready for it, y'all. Are you ready for this secret? Of how to make your fortune in this economy, like today's economy? Hello? Like, what is your vision? So ready that he gave up his profession and studied law. So he was so ready for it. He changed his whole profession and studied something else. Did he succeed? Well, that story is told too. All right. I gave the secret to Jennings Randolph the day he graduated from college. And he has used it so successfully that he is now serving his third term as a member of Congress with an excellent opportunity to keep on using it until it carries him to the White House. Hello. While serving as advertising manager of the LaSalle Extension University, when it was little more than a name, right? So it didn't even have a real name like that at the time. I had the privilege of seeing J.G. Chaplin, president of the university, use the formula so effectively that he has since made the LaSalle one of the great extension schools of the country. All right, we're reading from, again, Think and Grow Rich, We're in the author's preface. Napoleon Hill is giving us all the great and juicy reasons why we should be reading and studying this book. And that's why we're workshopping it live right now. You are with me, Batia Yisrael. Wonderful to meet you. Stay a while. Follow the channel. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Like, follow for more. Okay? Also, you can go to Wealth with Tia. All right, that's what we break down all this stuff. All right. All right, so he said, okay, so we were talking about the LaSalle extension, and he made that school into one of the great extension schools of the country. Okay. The secret to which I refer has been mentioned no fewer than 100 times throughout this book. Okay. It has not been directly named, for it seems to work more successfully when it is merely uncovered and left in sight for those who are ready. Okay. For those who are ready. Are you ready? And for those who are searching for it, are you searching for it? He's saying if you're ready and you're searching for it, you're going to find it. And then in the Bible, seek and ye shall find. Those who seek me early shall find me. Something like that. Yeah. All right. So those who are ready and searching for it may pick it up. This is why Mr. Carnegie tossed it to me so quietly without giving me its specific name. Because, sometimes, I don't know, human beings, we might hear certain things and we might reject it. He's being a little bit more subtle with it. Like, look, let me give it to you, but not give it to you. And just let it dawn on your spirit and your soul to make its ultimate effect on your life, right? If you are ready to put it to use, you will recognize this secret at least once in every chapter. I wish I might feel privileged to tell you how you will know if you're ready, but that would deprive you of much of the benefit you will receive when you make the discovery in your own way. He said, I'm not going to tell you how you're going to know if you're ready. Just make the discovery. While this book was being written, my own son, who was then finishing the last year of his college work, picked up the manuscript of chapter 2, read it, and discovered the secret for himself. He used the information so effortlessly and effectively that he went directly into a responsible position at a beginning salary greater than the average man ever earns. That's what he did. His story has been briefly described in chapter 2, and when you read it, perhaps you will dismiss any feeling that you may have had at the beginning of the book, that it promised too much. Some of you think this promised too much. And 2, if you have ever been discouraged, if you have had difficulties to surmount, which took the very soul out of you, if you have tried and failed, if you were ever handicapped by illness or physical affliction, the story of his son's discovery and the use of the Carnegie formula may prove to be the oasis. We love an oasis. In the desert of lost hope. How many people need an oasis in the desert of lost hope? I mean, that's poetry right there. That's poetry right there. My mom was a poet, y'all. Rest her soul. Yeah. She had books in the library and everything. I know poetry. I had a brilliant poet in my own home. That's poetry right there. The oasis in the desert of lost hope. Woo, Lord have mercy. Okay. For which you have been searching. This secret was extensively used by President Woodrow Wilson during the World War. It was passed on to every soldier who fought in the war. Let me hold the book up right here. Carefully wrapped in the training received before going to the front. President Wilson told me it was a strong factor in raising the funds needed for the war. More than 20 years ago, I want y'all to kind of see what I'm reading a little bit. There you go, on TikTok. All right. How we doing, YouTube? We good? Let me close this for a minute. All right. How y'all doing over here, TikTok? We good? Y'all coming in and out? All right, let's go. All right. So President Woodrow Wilson told him that it was a strong factor in raising the funds needed for the war. Okay. Not so much into war, but you know, we understand there are going to be some things also in this book that we're going to read. We're going to learn the lessons from it. We're not going to get bogged down by the times and the issues. But there are some things that could be, I won't say offensive, but just depending on, they talk about different times, talk about how they felt about, people who were enslaved, and, different things, and maybe men's opinions about women and just certain things. And so, but we want to get the gist and the main point out of the book, okay, and not get bogged down by any of the other stuff. Just wanted to mention it. Okay. More than 20 years ago, Honorable Manuel L. Quezon, then resident commissioner of the Philippine Islands, was inspired by the secret to gain freedom for his people. Wow. He used this to gain freedom for his people. Hello. He has gained freedom for the Philippines and is the first president of the free state. Wow. Would you like to apply the knowledge in this book to gain freedom for your people? Shoot, I would love it. Hello. Wow. See, it's a lot more that we can learn from this information other than, money. I mean, it's very important, but these are general skills. We also learned that it can help people overcome health issues as well. Okay. Because we should know that skills are transferable, right? If you can apply something to one thing, you can apply it to another. So he used it, Manuel L. Quezon, to gain freedom for his people. Hello? All right now. A peculiar thing about this secret is that those who once acquire it and use it find themselves literally swept on to success with but little effort. Don't that sound good? Just to be swept on to success with just a little bit of effort, because it's momentum. That's basically what it is. And knowing, things and applying it, right? But it's like when you gain enough momentum, just think about, I don't know, skiing somewhere, going down a hill, rolling down, I don't know, you tumbling in the snow, or, whatever. Some people do it like in a negative sense. We don't have to, acknowledge that. I mean, we don't want to continue that. Like momentum works both ways. We want that positive momentum. That's basically what he's talking about. People who have acquired this knowledge, just find them and use it. They say they acquire it and they use it. They find themselves literally swept onto success with little effort, and they never again submit to failure. This is what we're learning right now. How to think, apply, and grow rich, and never again get swept on to failure. How does that sound? That sounds great to me. You're not a failure. Because God's divine being, a divine being in the flesh can never be a failure within and of themselves. Now, they could fail to apply certain skills to acquire certain goals that they have. That's a difference. So that's what we need. If you, and I like how he said this, he says submit to failure. That's key right there. Because in order to fail at something, there must be a submission to it. Ooh, that's a word right there. That's a word right there. Let me just write that down for a minute. I'm just going to say a person because I don't. A person must submit to failure in order to fail. See, this is a workshop. So we write and we pause and we do all. We're not just reading through this book. They told us in the intro, I think it was the first one we did. This book is not entertainment. Think and Grow Rich is not entertainment. It is a workshop. You know, it's a curriculum. So a person must submit to failure in order to fail. Just don't submit to that. Keep going, basically. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but we're saying there's a submission that if you don't submit to it, you know, you're not going to fail. Basically, that's what we're saying. Okay. All right. If you doubt this, study the names of those who have used it wherever they have been mentioned and check their records for yourself to be convinced and be convinced. There is no such thing as something for nothing. That's not how the universe works. There's always something for something. There's no such thing as something for nothing. Okay? There's always something for something. The secret to which I refer cannot be had without a price, although the price is far less than its value. Okay? Although the price is far less than its value, it cannot be had at any price by those who are not intentionally searching for it. All right? It cannot. Wow. You got to be searching for this, y'all. You got to be searching for this. Okay? It cannot be given away. It cannot be purchased for money for the reason that it comes in two parts. One part is already in possession of those who are ready for it. The secret serves equally well all who are ready for it. Education has nothing to do with it. Long before I was born, the secret had found its way into the possession of Thomas A. Edison, and he used it so intelligently that he had become the world's leading inventor, although he had but 3 months of schooling. Wow. Whew. Thomas Edison had 3 months of schooling and became the world's leading inventor. Now, he didn't do it by himself, but he definitely achieved a great goal. The secret was passed on to a business associate of Mr. Edison. He used it so effectively that although he was then making only $12,000 a year, he accumulated a great fortune and retired from active business while still a young man. You will find his story at the beginning of the first chapter, and it should convince you that riches are not beyond your reach. Riches are not beyond your reach. Okay. Riches are not beyond your reach. That you can still be what you wish to be. That money, fame, recognition, and happiness can be had by all who are ready and determined to have these blessings. How do I know these things? You should have the answer before you finish the book. I know that's right. You may find it in the very first chapter or on the last page. While I was performing the 20-year task of research, which I had undertaken at Mr. Carnegie's request, I analyzed hundreds of well-known men, many of whom admitted that they had accumulated their vast fortunes through the aid of the Carnegie's secret. Among these men, now we call out the names of the men who achieved their goals, utilizing Think and Grow Rich. Okay. Henry Ford, William Wrigley Jr., John Wanamaker, James J. Hill, George S. Parker, E. M. Statler, Henry L. Doherty, Cyrus H. K. Curtis, George Eastman, Theodore Roosevelt, John W. Davis, Elbert Hubbard, Wilbur Wright, William Jennings Bryan, Dr. David Starr Jordan, Dr. Ogden Armour. We're calling on the name of prosperity, y'all. We're bringing this prosperity to us. Okay? Let's go. All right. Charles M. Schwab, Harris F. Williams, Dr. Frank Gonzalez, Daniel Willard, King Gillette, Ralph Weeks, Judge Daniel T. Wright. All the people who have used this secret, y'all, and it became super successful. John D. Rockefeller, Thomas Edison, Frank Vanderlip, F.W. Woolworth, Colonel Robert Dollar, Edward A. Filene, Edwin C. Barnes, Arthur Spain. Got a few more names. Woodrow Wilson. You gonna pour some out? We pouring water. We ain't pouring nothing. I'm pouring water. Pour it out for them. Come on now, because they use these principles to gain tremendous wealth. Okay, we're workshopping the book Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. All right, and these are all the people who have applied these skills and who have done it. They thought, they applied, and they grew rich. Right? W.M. Howard Taft, Luther Burbank, Edward W. Bach, Frank A. Munsey, Albert H. Gary. When I finish this, I got a treat for you. I want y'all to listen to something too. Somebody in our time, practical time, has given you 4 steps. Her wealth formula, 4 steps to get wealth. So stay tuned for that. Frank Munsey, Albert Gary, Dr. Alexander Graham Bell. Heard that name. John H. Patterson. Like up the live. If you like it, let's go. Appreciate you. All right. Julius Rosenwald, Stuart Austin Wire, Dr. Frank Crane. A few more names. Dr. Alexander. George Alexander. Pardon me. J. G. Chaplin. Honorable Jennings Randolph, Arthur Nash, and Clarence Darrow. They are all the people, well, not all the people, some of the people who have applied the principles of this book, Think and Grow Rich, and thought, applied, and grew rich. We're on live on YouTube right now, TikTok right now, thinking, applying, and we're growing rich. Okay. At least that's where that's the goal. All right. These names represent but a small fraction of the hundreds of well-known Americans whose achievements financially and otherwise prove that those, listen, who understand and apply the Carnegie secret reach high stations in life. And that's what we're doing by studying this book, Think and Grow Rich, right? The book that a lot of people have on their shelf or heard about and don't really read or listen to, or, whatever. You can get a free audio on YouTube and listen to this book. Yeah. You don't even have to buy it. They got free PDFs. But this is the book that Bob Proctor read every day. That's what he said. And it definitely helps him become one of, the most helpful, wealthy, men around. All right. So he said these names represent a small fraction of the hundreds of well-known Americans whose achievements financially and otherwise prove that those who understand and apply the Carnegie secret reach high stations in life. I have never known anyone who was inspired to use the secrets in this book here, who did not achieve noteworthy success in their chosen calling. So he didn't know. This is a Napoleon Hill. After studying over 500 wealthy entrepreneurs, he said he didn't know anybody who applied this book and the teachings in here who did not get rich, basically, who did not achieve their goals. Okay. I have never known any person to distinguish himself or to accumulate riches of any consequence without possession of the secret. From these two facts, I draw the conclusion that the secret is more important as a part of the knowledge essential for self-determination than any which one receives through what is popularly known as education. So he's saying, if you apply the information in books like this, you're going to get a better, quote, education than you get in school, right? He said that earlier, right? What is education anyway? This has been answered in full detail. As far as schooling is concerned, many of these men have very little. So many of the people who achieved these great successes became presidents, heads of corporations that had been around for years and years and years. Y'all know Wanamaker's and Woolworth. I mean, you may or may not. Back in the day, they big. It was like the Walmart back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And people like that, they I don't know. They like I said, they achieved these goals and they had a little bit of education. Quote, education. So as far as schooling, regular schooling is concerned, many of these men had very little. John Wanamaker once told me that what little schooling he had, he acquired in very much the same manner as a modern locomotive takes on water by scooping it up as it runs. Wow. Okay. So he just gathered a little. I mean, but if you know stories about, there are stories like that, people during the times where, where the Africans in America were enslaved, there are a lot of people who did not have, a certain amount of schooling, right? But they still were able to achieve certain success, right? Like through their family. Like, there are stories of people, who might have had, I don't know, 5th grade education or whatever the situation is. There's people, I think there was a rapper. I'm not sure. I got to check that out. But there's people who don't even really know how to, read too well. And they go on to achieve success. Of course, we're reading now. So we encourage, reading and learning the basics, right? Reading, writing, arithmetic. But it's just to say that there's nothing that can hold you back, right? If you have, as they say, quote, this particular secret, right? Okay. All right. So a little bit more in the forward, and then we get to the first chapter. So I might separate the live when we get to the end of this, and then come back and do the first chapter separately. All right. So they had very little education. He just scooped it up, you know. Henry Ford never reached high school, let alone college. I'm not attempting to minimize the value of schooling, but I'm trying to express my earnest belief that those who master and apply the secret will reach high stations. That's all he's saying. He's not trying to say don't pay attention to school. I used to do that sometimes too. I'd be in school. I was a pretty good school, high school and stuff, whatever it was. But sometimes I would just be, in my own world, because I don't like being lied to. I don't like, certain things. And I got a certain type of education at my religious, organization, if you will, right? Like, so every week, so they gave us the real, we would read through the Bible and we saw ourselves in the Bible. And, it wasn't like when it said children of Israel, like that's us, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm thinking about somebody else. And we just learned about, this quote matrix and all that. I learned that every week, in church, if you will, right? And we call it a school, synagogue, that type of thing, right? Whatever, right? Class, right? So I'll be in school sometimes and I'm just staring out the window. I did my work, but certain classes, especially, I ain't gonna front, especially American history, I'm like, y'all not gonna lie to me. Y'all not telling me my history started with slavery. Oh, I couldn't take it. I got through it, but I'm one of them people. You're not gonna just tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get exactly what he's saying right here. I get it. You weren't gonna tell me. Because I already had the truth, right? So what's the truth about you? What's the truth about you? Because we're not going to just let people just tell us whatever about ourselves, under the guise of education. Right? So anyhow, he's saying he's not attempting to minimize the value of schooling, but he's trying to express his earnest belief that those who master and apply the secret will reach high stations, accumulate riches, and bargain with life on their own terms, even if their schooling has been meager, just a little bit. Somewhere as you read, the secret to which I refer will jump from the page and stand boldly before you if you are ready for it. That's what's going to happen. That's what he said. That's the prescription. The wealth prescription. I got a wealth prescription for y'all coming up. This is from a woman who was $55,000 in debt. This is her story. I'm going to give you her name and all. You can follow her if you don't already and all that good stuff. And hear her story and learn from her. Because here at Wealth with Tia and Solar Alignment, I'm about sharing information. Because I'm on my journey. It's not all about me. It's about what I can share with you. Okay. I ain't gonna front y'all. This shirt feel good. This is my brand, Body and God. Y'all gotta go here. bodyandgod.com, BODYINGOD.com. Get you some metaphysical clothing. Okay, and represent that you are a body inside of God's larger body, the universe, because that's what we are. We are the cells inside of God's body. I just ran my hand over it. It's all nice and smooth. All right, anyway. So yeah, let's go. All right. So if you are ready for it, okay, when it appears, you will recognize it. That's like anything else in life. When you prime yourself for a thing, then you're like tuned into its vibration. Then you recognize it when it comes, don't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. When it appears, you will recognize it, whether you receive the sign in the first or last chapter. Stop for a moment. When it presents itself, turn down a glass. He said turn down a glass. I'm cracking up. I'm turning down a glass of water. That's the only glasses I turn down, y'all. Well, turn up, whatever you want to call it. Water, smoothies, orange juice, stuff like that. That's the only. He said, turn down a glass when you recognize what's popping over here. All right. For that occasion will mark the most important turning point of your life. I got to underline that. That's on page 18, y'all. If y'all following. Again, depends on the type of book that you have. I'm in the forward right now. The author's forward. Almost done the author's forward. When I finish this part, then I'm gonna go into the 4 wealth secrets of the lady, and then I'll end the live, and then we will come back. I believe we'll come back for chapter 1. All right. All right. He said, turn down a glass. I know that. That's right. All right. So whether you receive the sign in the first or the last chapter, stop for a moment. When it presents itself, turn down a glass. I know that's right. Glass of juice. A water. And for that occasion will mark the most important turning point of your life. Wow. We pass now to chapter 1. I'm excited about chapter 1. These intros be long, y'all, but that's how it is. And to the story of my very dear friend who has generously acknowledged having seen the mystic sign and whose business achievements are evidence enough that he turned down a glass. As you read his story and the others, remember that they deal with the important problems of life, such as all people experience or could experience. The problems arising from one's endeavor to earn a living, to find hope, courage, contentment, and peace of mind. This is all we're here to do. To accumulate riches and to enjoy freedom of body and spirit. Remember, too, as you go through the book, that it deals with facts and not with fiction. Its purpose being to convey a great universal truth through which all who are ready may learn not only what to do, but also how to do it. It's very important. And receive as well the needed stimulus to make a start. This is the stimulus now. This is a stimulus. It's a mental and spiritual stimulus. What other kind of stimulus? It's a joke. I was going to say, what other kind of stimulus you need? This is the most effective one. This is the one that lasts, mental and spiritual type. That when it gets in you and you know it, boom, you got it. Okay. But yeah, we like the other kind too. All right. So we're finishing up the forward now, a little bit more. And we're going to go to the wealth prescription of a woman that I'm telling y'all about. And then we're going to end the live and probably go on to chapter 1. We'll see how I feel when I end the live, but probably go to chapter 1 the same night. Okay. All right. So the problems arising from one's endeavor to earn a living, find hope, courage, contentment, peace of mind, to accumulate riches, and to enjoy freedom of body and spirit. Wow. To enjoy freedom of body and spirit. Okay. Remember to, okay, so this is what we went over this part. It has to do with giving us the needed stimulus to make a start. Okay. As a final word of preparation, before you begin the first chapter, May I offer one brief suggestion which may provide a clue by which the Carnegie secret may be recognized? May I? It is this: all achievement, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. All achievement, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. If you are ready for the secret, you already possess one half of it. Therefore, you will readily recognize the other half the moment it reaches your mind. The author, yay! That was the author's foreword. Yeah, that was the author's foreword. Let's play a little music on that. That was the author's foreword, y'all. All achievement and all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. So basically, don't spurn or regard lightly your ideas. Act on them. Like this idea for me to jump on live and workshop the book Think and Grow Rich. It came to me a couple weeks ago, probably. And I was like, okay. I jumped on it as soon as I could. Right? As soon as I had the time to do it. It was probably maybe 4 days later than the idea came to me. But I'm doing it. This is our third episode, and we'll see what comes from it. Right? I already been talking about my clothing brand, Body and God, BODYINGOD.com. It's a metaphysical clothing brand. Check us out. My name is Batia Yisrael. We just went through the forwards and also the intro about a couple weeks ago of Think and Grow Rich. So we went through all the forwards and the prefaces of Think and Grow Rich, the classic book that was written in 1937 by Napoleon Hill after his 25 or so years study of Andrew Carnegie's secret to your riches. He gave us the first part. He said it all starts with an idea. So when the ideas and the inspirations come, we need to act on it. They start with an idea. So when the ideas and the inspirations come, we need to act on it. Okay. So with that, we have again finished the forwards and everything, and I'm going to draw your attention to one more thing before we conclude this live for the evening or the rising. And let's see. See what we can do here. So I have a couple devices. How y'all feeling? Anybody in the hallway in there? Y'all know I can't see y'all in the hallway. Stop playing with me like that. It's like, no, it's okay. So if you are, it's all right. It's cool with me. Let me see if I can get this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this on. I'm on a couple devices. One of these devices, child, it doesn't have a lot of space on there, so And I didn't get my other one, but it's okay. We're gonna see if we can pull this up on here. Because on the device that I'm doing the live on YouTube, I want to make sure that they can hear what I'm about to play. And I think sometimes if I play it on the same device, they might not be able to hear it. All right, so it looks like it's coming up on here. So I'm finding, she's one of my virtual mentors. I have yet to meet her in real life. But here's a video of a woman who you may or may not have heard of. And her name is Lisa M. Easton. Have you ever heard of Lisa Easton? Lisa M. Easton. We're about to end the live. We're workshopping Think and Grow Rich. And we're going to come back, Lord willing, in just a few minutes. And we're going to go into the first chapter. What was the first chapter? And it's pretty long, y'all. So hopefully I can endure the first chapter. Coming back up from we almost did an hour and a half. But I want y'all to hear this. And this is 4 steps that Lisa Easton did to achieve her wealth. From being $55,000 in debt, and within 3 years, clearing over $1 million in her business. She has 4 steps for you and me, so we can achieve our own version of similar success. That sound good? Sound great to me. All right, so let's listen up to Lisa, and then we're going to conclude the live. Thank you very much for being here with me. Again, check me out at Batia Yisrael. You can even go to my website, batia.com, BATIYAH.com, and go to my different socials from there. You should be able to connect to a lot of things from there as well. Okay, so let's listen to Lisa. All right, let's see.
So here is the 4-step millionaire morning routine. I used this for 3 years, and I went from drowning in $55,000 worth of debt to making over $1 million and continuing to live a life of luxury, buying my dream home. So here are the 4 steps that you need to do every single day to reprogram your mind, remove the limiting beliefs and the money mindset blocks. Mm-hmm. 1 is visualization meditation. I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to listen to Sri Akarshana's Manifest Money in 24 hours or less. As the first step when you wake up in the morning, mm-hmm. You're going to do visualization meditation. Step 2 is spoken affirmations. I love Mary Kate's gratitude affirmations. So that is step 2. You just repeat after her. Step 3 is going to be scripting. I want you to start with 5 things that you're grateful for, and then I want you to script 10 to 20 things as if it has already happened. I am a millionaire. I am wealthy. I have $300,000 in my bank account. I am the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business that is evergreen and makes money in my sleep. Step number 4 is exercise. You're going to move your body in whatever way feels good to you. Do that for a year straight. Just do it for a year straight. Not 30 days. That's not enough. Commit to a year and watch how abundance and wealth starts to pour into your life. If you want to deeper dive into this and learn how to do this on autopilot, tap the link in my profile and take my free money manifesting masterclass, and I will see you there.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? On the replay or live, did you catch it? Okay. So Lisa M. Easton, just follow, you just type in her name and she should come up on like whatever platform she's on. She's generally on, I think she's on all of them. I'm not so sure if she's on YouTube, but I know she's on Instagram and TikTok. Okay. So Lisa M. Easton has given us her 4 steps of wealth. She calls it her morning routine. And she's repeated this video a couple times. And again, like, Napoleon Hill just told us, these riches and things, they start with an idea, y'all. So it's not just about the idea or the knowledge. It's about applying it. It's about applying it. So number 1, she said, go to Sri Akarshana I'm not gonna. If you just type in Shri, SRI, and then AKAR, it'll come up. But Akarshana, manifest money in 48 hours or less. It's a guided meditation. I've been doing it for about 4 days. It's something about it. I'm not a stranger to like listening and affirmations and stuff like that. Like, I even created some of my own affirmations. I think that's something I'm going to be getting into more as well, if it's the will of the creator. But the guided meditation, it wasn't always something that I did. Like, I listened to the affirmations. I hear people saying you say them over and over, you listen to them over and over, you listen to them while you're sleeping, you turn it down real low. Like, I get it. But it's something about Shri Akarshana's guided meditations that it hits, baby. It hits. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it. I'm not going to play it on this one. You're basically visualizing to your third eye. You're bringing up that information. He has videos on this. He tells you about it as well. You're bringing the focus to your third eye. You know, that's your real vision right there. That's your real vision. Okay? These eyes, I mean, that's what we see, you know, physical reality and the matrix and all that. I mean, you know. But your real vision, where you can see all around you, is that middle eye, that perception, where your pineal gland is. So you're visualizing up to your third eye, and you're visualizing certain things, light and all that good stuff. And then depending on the topic of the video, and you could even do one where it's a general one, so you could visualize whatever you want. Depending on the topic of the video, you bring it, you're basically bringing it to your mind, right? So manifest money in less than 24 hours or 48 hours. He has one for 24 hours as well. 48 hours or less, you're seeing yourself, and he guides you through all this. You're seeing yourself immersed in the money. Like, you're not just maybe watching a video or listening to somebody saying it, or have you said, I am wealthy, I am rich. Like, that's great too. But it's something about having your eyes closed, doing all the preliminary visualizing, and seeing a version of yourself immersed in all this money. It's like tens, 50s, hundreds, thousands, just coming to you. So some of us, we waiting to get paid. You waiting to get paid. I'm just saying, waiting for your check. Like, okay. But see, when you visualize, you don't have to wait for your check. You don't have to wait for the money because it's right there. I've been doing this for the past few days, and like, it already got me starting, to do things, more prosperous stuff. I said, I've been sleeping on the guided meditation. So get into your guided meditations. That's her first step. Start with Shri Akarshana because, he got it going on. All right. Second one, Mary Kate, grateful meditations. And this one you're going to repeat after her. Okay. Mary Kate, grateful meditations, and you're going to repeat after her. So just, type in her name in YouTube and find her. I've done those as well. Okay. Scripting, keep it simple. All right. If you're not in habit of this, you might not always feel like pulling out your book. But even just if you just say it out loud, 5 things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful right now for this live. I'm grateful right now that we did a hour and 33 minutes. Ooh, 133, 144. I saw 13344 angel numbers. I'm grateful I just saw some angel numbers right there. See, I'm into that too. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful if there's anybody looking from the hallway. What am I up to 3? I'm grateful that I'm wearing my own clothing brand on the live right now, and that you got to see it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this water I'm about to drink right now. I'm grateful that I just got to read with you Think and Grow Rich. I'm grateful for Lisa posting these steps. She said, don't just do it for, a few days, 1 month, whatever it is. Like, commit to it. It's the same thing that Bob Proctor is saying. Like, Napoleon Hill, commit to it. Sometimes we don't always feel like it. I wanted to jump on live last week, I think it was. I didn't. I skipped it. Whatever. It's okay. Sometimes you need time to, whatever, do what you got to do. But I'm back. So let me get on here tonight. Because what you do for others is also something that's done for you as well, right? That's how the universe works. So scripting. You write down 5 things that you're grateful for. I just did 5 things on the live right here. Very simple. I'm grateful for my breath in my life right now. Right. And then you write down 10 to 20 things as if they have already happened. I always have more money than I need. I can't help but to attract money all the time. That was some affirmations I heard somebody say today, but I heard them before, but they say those are very well as well. They're very good to do. My business, I'm so grateful that my business is successful. And that, I think another one Lisa said was, you could say, I'm so grateful that I have, $50,000 liquid in my bank account that I could use at any time. I'm so grateful to be financially free and debt free. I'm so thankful to the universe. Thank you, universe. If you were on the live last week, we've been talking about, show me, universe, how great my life can be. Show me, universe, how great my life can be. Right? That was from another woman who gave us that mantra. Show me, universe, how great my life can be. Right? So, I had to get her name, mystical something. I had to think. I posted her as well. The Playful Mystic. Playful Mystic. Show me, universe. I'm gonna write her down. The Playful Mystic. Okay. Show me, universe. All right. So I'm gonna finish out Lisa's list, and the last one is exercise. Move your body. Move your body. Get all that energy and vibration and move it around. I'm gonna add another one because I have my own. I'm still on my journey, right, to achieving things that I like to achieve. But I'm on the journey, so I could give you a little tip. Put prosperous energy into your body, right? This kind of goes with the exercise thing. Why is she saying exercise? Because you're moving that energy around in your body. But see, think about it. And now exercise also moves negative energy out. Meditation moves negative energy out as well. Because when you breathe in, you breathe out, especially how Shriya Karshna does it, that moves that negative energy out. But you know what else moves negative energy out? Chlorophyll, high vibrational food. We have to also be mindful of the foods that we put in our body. And this is not a vegetarian, vegan message. I'm not a vegetarian, vegan. At this time of my life, I have been on and off. And, a good fruit fast will get you right. For real. It'll get you right. Fruit and maybe little salads, a little, here and there, that type of thing. Some fresh chlorophyll. If you can digest, the leaves like that. Saying some people have issues with it. So you can get the chlorophyll in a fruit, which would be your green pepper. But you put the high prosperous energy into your body so that you can help to combat some of those negative thoughts. Because if you don't think that food affects your thoughts, you need to think again. We need to think again on that one. Okay. So that is the live for today or for right now. And when we come back, we're going to start with chapter 1. I will probably come back tonight, but we'll see. But thank you so much for being here. So keep thinking and keep growing rich, and not just thinking, but applying the thoughts when they come, particularly when you start meditating. Apply those thoughts when they come. Jump on it, because the universe speaks to you in very subtle ways, but it definitely speaks to you. All right. So I'm going to end the stream here on YouTube. Thanks, guys. Peace and love. Keep thinking and growing rich.